Cameroon, fondly called Africa in miniature for its diversity and natural wealth, representative of the African continent, now battles a food crisis caused by climate change, conflict, COVID-19, and rising costs. 1 in every 10 Cameroonians is food insecure. That means almost 3 million people go to bed hungry, according to the government of Cameroon's Cadre Harmonisé, a food security analysis index. The northwest and southwest regions of the country have been experiencing a socio-economic crisis since 2016, which has led to the displacement of over 1 million people from these regions. Many who fled the conflict are now forced to seek shelter in nearby regions where life is now almost unbearable for them.
Now they won't make them a can be for the bygone. They become for a village, they born with us. They kill my 2 brothers. I just come on run so I not be able to look for back. Whether they be buried them or they not be buried them. Me and my sister, they will be run come for here, will be 4 with 12 pikin. 3 said be die for that war before we come we have. And someone we don't run the work and reach for here. With the one job. Wait for that job. How would they know say we be na people where would they run job we don't run work come for here. First one thing we job, if they give we 1,000. Because we not know how way they live for here and we there for here so we not even know how way we live.
Having lost all sources of livelihood, their farms, cattle, businesses, and even family.
We don't come on a problem. Nobody say we like them. Then when problem don't move you go on, you know, go tell no nothing. We don't come empty. And now we don't plenty, nobody only me. Now we don't be like 800 people then for this place. Where they ask something for you, you not get and then burn your compound. If you pray, they kill you, they kill your brother, kill your cow. For our own business in a cow forever, not only. Whether they kill cow, they don't kill you too.
Now almost entirely dependent on humanitarian support, these people also have to manage the difficulty of surviving away from home. Many of them have large families, and the help received seems almost insignificant amidst the unending challenges.
Most of them, we saw them, they were sleeping on the streets at Garut here and many areas here. So we just look for affordable place or place where they can even have at least a roof to cover their heads and their families. You have 5, 6, 7, sometimes 8, 10 people in the house. Everything are expensive in the market, especially after the COVID-19. You can see a family there, they can make 2, 3 days without eating. Most of them, they are using this river water. They just, some filter it with the sponge, or the other are just carrying it like that and bathe. That's why you see some children will have rashes, health problems. You have rashes here. You have cases of cholera here. And with the environment, sometimes when they are sharing mosquito net, they don't have enough mosquito net. There are problems of malaria here also.
Displaced people often resort to survival mood, paying little or no attention to health or food safety concerns. The Red Cross community here supports a local health center to detect early cases of malnutrition. The situation seems dire, especially for the displaced.
Du côté des déplacés, ils sont là, ils ne sont plus dans leur village. Et ils ont beaucoup de problèmes de nutrition. Et on rencontre ce cas de malnutrition le plus souvent. Et nous sommes toujours à leur côté et pour leur prodiguer des conseils concernant l'agencement des aliments pour ne pas toujours avoir affaire avec des cas de malnutrition. Mais le problème encore ici, c'est le problème de moyens. C'est le problème de moyens. Ils ne sont plus chez eux. Et tout ce qu'ils trouvent, ce que l'adulte peut manger, ils donnent aussi aux enfants. Et ça devient très insuffisant pour ces enfants-là.
It is said, water is the driving force of all nature. As the Sahara Desert encroaches from the north, it is drying up water sources, seriously affecting the cattle business in these parts of the country.
Ici, à Darang, vraiment, il y a un problème d'eau. Et avant, ce n'était pas comme ça. Même ici, là, moi, je me rappelle, il y a de cela quelques années, vers 2005, 2006, comme ça, là, moi, je nageais ici. Là où nous sommes là, ici, là, le début doit arriver ici. Mais maintenant, vous voyez, là où l'eau se trouve. Donc, moi, je me demande maintenant, d'ici quelques années, si le marigot n'est pas appelé à disparaître, comment vont faire les éleveurs et les agriculteurs avec ces problèmes d'eau? Vraiment, c'est inquiétant.
The situation is no different from what communities are experiencing in the East region, where rivers are drying up, the soil has become too hard to till, trees are shedding their leaves, and the dry season goes on for much of the year.
Problem ba kambele dende edi mamoro ugete ege je ben janjo ke diangu usu bon se o madia elga je sen janjo na bete se da we me lambo ye di sena bete era ke we ya ye di sena bon eken nani bon dana pa ben me dian hen bete da sam gwang ye di sena usene bon be sige e men yo goso be gwang goso mu ba nde bam yombo ne men bam yombo
Output per hectare has significantly reduced because of the climate crisis. The alternative here is in itself a cause of the deteriorating land and harvests.
Nous, en tant que volontaires secouristes, nous ne cessons de les amener à comprendre l'importance de pouvoir mener des activités qui ne vont pas mettre leur vie en danger et également détériorer l'environnement. Malgré diverses activités que nous menons, j'ose croire que si nous partageons avec nos communautés ou si nous avons des mécanismes très adéquats pour distiller l'information qui pourrait amener ces communautés à changer de comportement, j'ose croire que nous allons arriver à nos objectifs qui est de tenir face à ce changement climatique.
Further north in Yagua, a border town with Chad, community members are lamenting the devastating effects on their food crops as elephants migrate further inland in search of water.
Ha gawrangdo tumin do mari bononde nyibi foroybo jemma be nange min anata ko nyibi bo do ngara billa amin hado karal bo dum kanju min mari goddo nyaman yaran ndiyam be man yoba cede bikkoy école limce sare man fu.
This millet farm has been ravaged by elephants, causing significant shortage in one of the major staple foods in this region. With prices of other food commodities on the rise, hunger too is on the rise. Since the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic and recently Russia's aggression on Ukraine, food prices have been on a steady increase. The burden of increased prices is felt across the country, but the impact is critical for those who could barely afford complete meals prior to increased prices.
Even for trouble with the manager, we don't work a bush to bush for farm bitter leaf. For naka with the puna or empty saw for day with the chop. Forget chop too is not easy. Small chop so they go to market, wait for touch and not day. Bucket corn how much? Rice, modo rice na how much? We not there for we. We don't live for cassava, we don't knock and chop tire, picking the posh stuff.
For first you should buy 1 liter. Like for 500, buy 2 liters. Now 1,000, 1 liter. And so one day, so one person, so it will go family, like 10 people. So one day you get like 20 people there for your house. Where they get it? Not only.
We have free medication, free consultation, but you know that when we are doing it, we cannot help everybody. And the one that we have, we just help just give them the small quantity. We share the small quantity that we have to all of them. And it's not enough, because in a family of 10, sometimes you can even share, you can even give a food for 8 people or 5 people in the family of 10. And we cannot feed them every day. So they really need that we should help them in the feeding. And as the other IDPs, they don't have even non-food items like mattress and other normal things that they can have in the house.
La Croix-Rouge locale fait déjà beaucoup en les prodiguant des conseils. Et ils le font avec beaucoup de difficultés parce qu'ils ne trouvent pas la matière pour composer ces aliments-là. Et nous savons que s'il y a des appuis, ça peut bien faire l'affaire.
The Red Cross is committed to assisting these vulnerable communities affected by conflict, climate change, and rising costs. It may take longer and require more resources, but these first steps are significant in containing the prevailing food crisis in the country.